How about we talk about ego versus healthy self-esteem in more detail? As a human being, you develop a good sense of self-esteem is no longer satisfying as you get older and is eventually transcended. The replacement for it is a healthy sense of self-esteem. Self-esteem, of course, refers to the degree to which an individual is content with respect to who they are as a person, as well as with the accomplishments of the individual, what the individual is capable of doing, what the individual is knowledgeable about, or what the individual possesses. You make a comparison between the individual's capabilities, which are their abilities, their knowledge, which is their knowledge, and the possessions that the person possesses. You make a comparison with other things, and you find that you come out on top. Therefore, either you are able to accomplish more than other people, or other people simply feel better about themselves. I can do this, but they can't. Alternatively, you possess a greater amount of knowledge. Do you have any idea that this is the case in such and such a scenario? Oh, you were unaware of that? Okay, let me tell you something. Because of this, you have a better understanding of the situation. These ignorant people, they don't know anything. Perhaps you have a greater number of bedrooms. How many do you have in your home? Is it 4? There are 11 of us. Are you a graduate or postgraduate student? Oh no, I hold 2 doctoral degrees. It is okay for a child on their own. Take a look at what I am capable of doing. I am able to leap further than you are. Also, it is not a problem for the youngster. A toddler should not be told, "Don't do that, your ego is arising." This is a pointless statement. It is not possible. The youngster must go through that. As you explain it, having healthy self-esteem is preferable than having extremely low self-esteem. This is because healthy self-esteem is more likely to occur. I'm not good. Everybody's better than me. I have nothing. Life has treated me unfairly. In the same way that good self-esteem also contains a self-fulfilling prophecy, there is also a self-fulfilling prophecy that brings pleasure from the just behavior you have self-control. As you explain it, life has treated me unfairly. In the same way that good self-esteem also contains a self-fulfilling prophecy, as long as I have access to the necessary safe esteem to do the right thing. In the same way that good self-esteem also contains a self-fulfilling prophecy, in the same way that good self-esteem also contains a self-fulfilling prophecy, in the same way that good self-esteem is more productive than overall fitness. I strongly support your self-fitness component. One may say that having healthy self-esteem is more pleasurable than having low self-esteem or unhealthy self-esteem. This is because good self-esteem is more positive. However, both of these things are forms of identification, and when you compare the form of who I am to the form of other people, you find that you are superior in at least one of these areas. Obviously we are, and that is a satisfying fact. You are dependent on others who have less, know less, or are able to do less than you, to put it frankly, for your sense of value or worthiness. However, there is still the fact that you are stuck in form and you are dependent on them for your sense of value or worthiness. That is not a problem. This does not imply that you should not make an effort to accomplish great things, to acquire stuff, or to acquire knowledge. However, the question that needs to be answered is whether or not that is a satisfactory foundation for your sense of who you are. This is not the case over the course of time. It does not fulfill my needs. It is for this reason that people who are very content with what they have tend to have a sensation of emptiness after some time has passed. This emptiness is not the same as the spiritual emptiness, or the sense of emptiness that comes from asking, what's it all about? Even things that you are able to accomplish, there may come a moment when you are no longer able to do them, regardless of what it is that you do that is so wonderful. Playing an instrument, being a brilliant pianist, having a remarkable talent. If you want to be a great pianist, why not? On the other hand, if you get your sense of who you are from that, and then one day you discover that you have arthritis in your fingers, then who are you now? The agility may also be lost. No longer can you find it there. When it comes to suffering, oh my God. Another possibility is that you come up with the most advanced computer ever. Some computer, I don't know the terminology, but software or whatever it is, and everyone declares that it is the best computer ever created. On the other hand, these occurrences take place quite rapidly, 2 or 3 years after the first event. When someone else comes up with something that renders yours obsolete, you are left with no new ideas to take into consideration. After that, you are extremely heartbroken since you have descended from a wonderful person, but you have become an unimportant person. However, it was all an illusion, because you obtained your feeling of who you are from something in the realm of form, which is ephemeral, not reliable, not substantial, and reminiscent of a dream. A lack of identification with one's physical appearance is the source of genuine self-esteem. It is not clear to me if we should even refer to that as self-esteem at this point. When you become aware of the formless aspect of yourself, that dimension, and the fact that all power originates from that, you will experience a genuine awakening of your sense of worthiness and power. However, it extends far beyond the person that you are, and when it does, you are rooted in the formless, or you are the formless itself. Despite the fact that it is not comparable, there is a tremendous sense of worthiness contained within it. Neither is it greater than. To you, every single person possesses the same level of worthiness, even if they are not yet aware of it for themselves. It appears that there is power, but not more. There is the power of life itself, and you are aware that every single person is an expression of that power, even if they are not aware of it at the moment themselves. Every single person. To put it another way, you go beyond the traditional definition of self-esteem, and this does not mean that you lose your sense of value. It shifts into something that is far more profound. Therefore, every single human being is, and it's possible that there are even some children in this day and age that don't have to go through the egoic stage anymore. This is not impossible. However, in the past it was necessary for humans to go through the stage where they identified with their physical appearance, developed some self-esteem, and engaged in activities that made them feel good about themselves. It is likely that many people still have to go through this stage. But after that, the moment comes to go on, with the possible exception of those mature souls, as I mentioned earlier, who may be entering this world already as children and who do not even need to identify with it anymore. If a person has low self-esteem, or, to put it another way, a mental image of not being good enough, then does that person have to go through the stage of healthy self-esteem before they can transcend it entirely? This is a question that arises from the previous inquiry. No, I am not sure. It hasn't been enough time for me to try it with enough folks. Dan asked, how does one become self-esteemed, let alone on top of that? In the event that your bad self-esteem causes you to experience a great deal of suffering, it is possible that you will be able to transition from that condition to a state in which you have no self with the assistance of a teacher. When compared to the path that leads from superficial enjoyment to transcendence, the one that leads from unhappiness or suffering to transcendence is seen to be more straightforward. Your bliss on the surface will keep you in the dream world for a considerable amount of time. Please show your thanks by giving this journey a like if you felt it to be meaningful that you went through it. Additionally, if you are seeking for additional articles and videos that are intended to motivate you, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Let us continue to investigate these mysteries together, and in the midst of the chaos, let us discover the marvels.